There are three general models of collaborative research between universities and schools or school boards. These are university-led, school board-led, and jointly led. While cases within each model may vary, there are some key characteristics which make each model distinct. Perhaps the most commonly occurring model of collaborative research between universities and school boards is university-led collaboration. In this model, the research is initiated by the university and data are collected from the schools. Until recently, schools had been restricted to the role of simply providing data, but now have begun to help shape the research as well. The key characteristics of this model, however, are that the university initiates and leads the research and its overall agenda. Martin Lacoste from Waterloo Region District School Board will explain a university-led project in which he participated.
So the project was called Engage to Create, funded by CANAR, which sought to establish collaborative learning communities amongst music educators with a view to incorporating more creativity in the music classroom. The university provided the structure and the overall idea. They brought us the seed to get us started and then let us go with it in our own groups, which for us was 4 secondary music teachers from the Waterloo Public Board. Each small group implemented their own project and collected data on it. We realized that creativity surprisingly doesn't happen nearly as often as we think it does in the music classroom, because we're often at the front of the classroom, instructing the students to play a piece a certain way because it says so, but the students in a sense are just following those directions, whereas what we haven't tapped into is the opportunity for them to be really creative and try their own thing. When all was said and done, we ended up with a document that we could use and share amongst our colleagues. This resource was the result of our opportunity to meet, experience, and dialogue about a variety of different ways of improvising and incorporating creativity in our classrooms.
The second form of collaboration is school or school board led. Here, the board identifies a specific need or area of development for formal research. While the school board may have personnel directly involved with the topic of interest, they will sometimes require support in conducting research, such as data analysis or research methodology. In this case, the board will reach out to the university for its expertise. The university often provides research training for the involved school staff and supports the school's agenda. The university may also decide to pursue its own research goals during the process, as long as there are no conflicts with the board's agenda. The Niagara Catholic District School Board recently completed a board-initiated project described here by Laura Tancredi.
The focus of our inquiry was to find out if the intentional planning of 3-part math lessons based on the student learning needs can improve student achievement and exhibit a measurable difference in the learning gap. Together with teachers in our schools, we co-planned and co-taught lessons, then came back and analyzed the student work. We continued to cycle through this process, while an intervention coach would help provide support for those students who still required further intervention. We also worked with a researcher from Brock University as we collected data to help us identify if there was a measurable difference in achievement. We saw a profound difference in teachers' self-efficacy and the benefit of allowing teachers to dialogue and collaborate with each other. It helps us identify what we're seeing in the student work, plan where we can go from here, and how we can help close gaps for these students. We were fortunate that we had the researcher from Brock University join us, as having access to someone with such knowledge and expertise was incredibly valuable.
The final model, joint leadership between university and school board, involves collaboration during the initial stages of developing the question, the need, or the topic to be addressed through research. In such cases, the research goals and agenda are either shared or parallel. Details of the project are often determined through in-depth discussion and negotiation. This model generally requires significant time and relationship maintenance to be successful. One such project was jointly led by Donna Kotsopoulos of Wilfrid Laurier University and Michelle Cordy of the Thames Valley District School Board.
Donna Kotsopoulos, Joanne Lee, Sue Bruins, my principal, and I applied for funding from CANAR. We were interested in looking at mathematics, particularly with English language learners in grades 1 to 3. Donna and Joanne drafted the grant, and then they asked us for input. Together as a team, we decided on the direction and the focus for the project. And once we got the funding and the project rolled out, then Donna facilitated monthly meetings and professional development with a group of 12 teachers. The entire team was responsible for collecting data, but it was Donna and Joanne who analyzed and interpreted the data and helped tell her story in a more quantitative way. My role with my principal was to help shape the nature of the question and the nature of what the project looked like at the school level. The most essential element was working with brilliant minds like Donna and Joanne. They're both so inspiring. I love it when Donna would say, the research says this, and it either validates what we're doing or it gently pushes us in a different direction and a different way of thinking.
How can I get involved? Look to the SURE website to find researchers with common interests. Connect with other teachers in your school who are interested in doing research, and apply for teacher learning and leadership grants from the Ministry of Education. While every study is unique, the 3 models of university school board collaboration described in this presentation serve as a useful guideline to common arrangements found in this type of research. Ultimately, the model you pursue will depend on the circumstances of your individual project. Hopefully, you'll find that the information and suggestions in this presentation will help you meet your research and professional development goals.